All right. So we're live here on Instagram, and I think the reason why I'm going to start doing some of these too, well, not start, but I've been doing it, but I've been more focused on this is because I may be having a co-host sometime in the future. I'll probably be doing that since Instagram has the ability to multi-user stream. So I have the ability to actually add somebody, and this fly is just, God, how do you get in here? You guys just hate it. Pests. Alright, so anyways, I'm going to break my silence about Sprint. I'm really going to go into detail about Sprint's biggest problems, and I'm just going to go full throttle on it. I've made mentions of it, but I've only kept it at a vague point. I'm really going to open up about it. And to a lot of people's surprise, those that are more focused on network coverage, got him. But those that are more focused on network coverage and feel like that's Sprint's main problem, which really it's not. It's always dependent on just where you live as far as your provider's coverage. So what I generally feel that is Sprint's biggest downfall is how they treat their longtime customers. And it's really that. This is really what that is. I mean, you see Sprint doing all these really cool deals for new customers, right? I mean, I don't know how well you guys pay attention to Sprint because they're so they're basically so out of it that more people are more focused on what T-Mobile's doing, what AT&T's doing, what Verizon's doing, and Sprint is just like kind of falling into the shadows. They're trying to keep their head above water. They're trying to stay afloat. Like with AT&T, some of the biggest reasons why people go to AT&T is because AT&T bundles. So I think with AT&T right now, like you can bundle your TV subscription with your mobile phone, which works out great for some users. Hold on, my tripod's like acting weird. But yeah, you can bundle it all and just pay like one bill that basically contributes to your mobile phone service and your TV subscription. So, you can watch like your regular news channels, you can watch, premium TV, and maybe even add an HBO and stuff like that. And some people find the value in just bundling. So, I mean, AT&T has that locked down. T-Mobile's making strides every day. They're trying to build out their network to get better and better. They're technically taking on Verizon, saying that they have the best LTE service. And you get free stuff with them. So T-Mobile Tuesday, they want to give stuff to their subscribers just based on, here's something, stay with us. Here's something, stay with us type of thing. Call it how you want to call it. If you think it's like totally awesome. But at the end of the day, basically, T-Mobile is paying their customers to stay with them. I honestly feel like without T-Mobile Tuesday, without doing all these free things, the only thing you're really getting is mobile phone service, and you can literally open your eyes and look around and find something else that's better for you. So that's how T-Mobile's doing it, and a pretty good tactic. But Sprint has some crazy deals for new customers that come in. Like they have, lease one, get one, promo offers. They have 5 lines for $100. They have all these things, and while it's good for new customers coming in, the long-term customers don't get access to this. The long-term customers, and I guess there is customers who have been with Sprint since 1999, 1998, 2000, the early 2000s. There's customers who have been with Sprint that long and are leaving Sprint. They're leaving them not because the service sucks, not because they can't get connection with the network, not because, they're not able to be on the phone and browse the internet at the same time unless they're on Wi-Fi. Their main reason is that they feel unappreciated, and that is Sprint's biggest problem. So, you can make all these promos to bring new customers in and to say sign up with us and get this promotional plan that lasts for a year. But while your entrance door is wide open, your exit door is just as wide open. because your long-term customers will call in. They see like, new customers are getting this phone for free, or they're getting this plan. Why can't I get it? And yeah, while it is a promotional plan for new customers, and technically it's just a promo offer that lasts for a limited time. After that, you go back to the regular unlimited freedom plan, which is, $65 for the first line, $45 for the second, and then lines 3 to 10 is $35. With AutoPay, you take $5 off each line. With employee discount, you take an additional $5 off each line, so you can get up to $10 off each line, depending if you do AutoPay and an employee discount. But it's like, there's not really anything there for loyal customers. If they were on the older plans, if they were on the grandfather plans, like the everything data shared or the 40 gigabyte shared plan, they used to have what was called loyalty credits, just based on your loyalty with Sprint. Each line got like, I want to say like $10 in loyalty credit per line, or something, something to that effect, towards their phone, or something like that. And while that was cool, when you went to the unlimited freedom, you lost that, because the unlimited freedom plan is already a discounted unlimited plan. So you lost your loyalty credits just trying to lower your bill. And then on top of that, you can't even take advantage of some of the promotional plans. Like, hold on one sec. But anyways, yeah, you lost your loyalty credits, and you can't take advantage of any of the promotional plans that new customers are able to get. So you, being a customer who's been loyal with Sprint for so many years, start to feel unappreciated for your time, sticking it out with Sprint through its rough times. Because let's face it, Sprint has had a lot of rough times. I mean, 10 years ago, they were notorious for double billing their customers. Dan Hess took over the company, and he just ran it into the floor some more. They started doing just these weird plans, like the family plan, where it was like unlimited service, but you got a discount based upon how many people were on your plan and how many people were in your group ID. So, which was like probably one of the toughest things ever for someone to have to deal with, because normal consumers, they don't understand how that stuff works. I'll tell you how bad the family plan was. So say you had a family of 5, and you went and you got a plan. So you got the family plan, and you linked up with your neighbor who has the family plan, and he's got 7 lines, and they're linked up with a coworker that's on the family plan that has 2 lines. So that's your group ID. That's your group of people where you're getting your discounts from. So it's not just only for how many people you had on your family plan, technically, but how many people in the other groups that were connected to you as one whole group, how many lines they had, you got a discount. Now, say, the coworker takes his 2 lines and switches his plan and changes it. You will not even know why, because it's not going to say on your bill why your discount rate dropped, and you're not getting the same discount you were getting for a while when you had that many people in the group. And so you're wondering, like, what happened to my discounts? Not even knowing, and because that person has their own accounts and they're just connected to you by the family group ID, it's not like you have a say if they want to change. So like everyone could be like, oh yeah, let's switch to unlimited freedom, and you're the only one that thinks you're getting a better deal because you're on a family plan. You're getting X amount of discounts for having 9 other lines in the group. All 9 lines leave and leave you with your 5, and now your discount rate is just completely done. You're only getting the bare minimum discounts for the 5 lines you have. And that was one of the things that I think that was it was a good idea as far as getting discounts, but was very bad because you lost your discounts without even knowing. So your bill always fluctuated. So, that is an annoyance to have to keep calling in every month to Sprint over your bill to find out why your bill went up, why, The discounts you were getting before, you're not getting the same amount. That is annoyance. And that then, eventually people having called in too many times is going to be like, screw it, I'm done. I'm going to a different provider because they're so tired of having to call in. You got to think about it too when customers call in. They call in, whether they dial, *2 from their device and they call in, or they dial the actual 800 number for Sprint, and they have to sit in the automated system or the IVR, and they have to choose an option. And so they're sitting in the IVR and they're choosing an option, and then they're waiting to get somebody, and then they finally get customer care, and then they start talking to customer care, and then half the time, hey, what's up, John? Then in half the time, they're getting different answers from different people that they're being transferred around to. Mind you, they're sometimes being cold transferred and not even being told that they're transferred. So all of a sudden, another agent takes the line and the customer's in shock because he's like, no one told me I'm getting transferred, so now I have to explain myself all over again. And it usually turns out to be that way, that they have to explain the entire story, and then come to find out, if they're lucky, the person they got from that cold transfer is able to help them. If they got to the wrong department, then they're going to be even more stressed out when they got to get transferred around. So the notorious thing about Sprint and why they're losing so much business is, one, their loyal customers don't feel appreciated at all. You're doing a lot, Sprint's doing a lot of advertisement and a lot of deals for new customers to sign up. So their open door is wide open to take as many customers as they need to build their subscriber rate up. But their exit door is just as wide because there's not much in place to give someone who's been with Sprint for 20 plus years. There's nothing to give them. They don't get a free phone. They don't get, they get a discounted plan, but it's not that dramatic of a discount. And some loyal customers don't care if these new promotion Sprint plans have like a year expiration on them before they go back up to the normal rate. They would love to take a year's worth of savings. I gotta make a video of my kitchen counter studio. That's cool. But yeah, there's so many times that I've explained to them the difference between a plan that is targeted for a loyal customer and say that this is X amount of dollars you would save yearly, and this plan does not expire from a promotional rate. You're gonna keep this until you decide to change your plan. And they'll tell me in return, I don't care. If I have 5 lines and I'm paying almost $300 or $400, I'd rather have the 5 lines for $100 and have that 1 year savings. But that year savings can do me some good. Like in that context, you really can't argue with them about it. There's not really much you can say. You can continue to go back and forth about, this particular plan that we have that's targeted to you for being with us for 15 years is going to save, and the discounted rate you're paying for never changes unless you change your plan. Like, it doesn't matter. You really can't argue that anymore because 5 lines for $100 compared to the normal unlimited freedom plan, compared to even their special promo where the 5th line is free, that's I think gone away now. They had the 5 lines for $90. They raised that up to 5 lines for $100. So it's just Sprint really does not make their long-term customers feel appreciated. There's nothing like even a free phone. Even a free phone would be nice because today, a lot of customers they don't understand the concept of Asurion. They don't understand that Asurion, which is the insurance company, sets the policy and the terms for device replacement. Like, you guys never know how many times a day I have to explain this to a customer when they're like, Sprint is billing me $13 for total equipment protection, and then you guys want to charge me $250, and I have to be like, the $250 deductible is not set by Sprint, that is set by Asurion. And I don't know, like, it doesn't matter where you go to AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, they all use Asurion. Asurion is the insurance company. I believe Asurion also is for Boost Mobile, Virgin Mobile. I believe it's for Metro PCS. John, you can verify if it's for Cricket as well. But I'm thinking that Asurion is like the main insurance company from like all mobile service providers. And, there's customers who've been with us for like 20 years and their phone's broken and they're on a fixed income budget basically, and they can't afford a $250 deductible. They may have gotten an iPhone because the iPhone was on a cheap promotional discount, and then it broke. They need to replace it. They're paying $13 a month for insurance. Like back in the day, it used to be where Asurion would send you out a phone, no charge, right? If they found out that by investigating the broken phone you sent back to them, and it shows that they can tell by the way it is that you pretty much damaged the phone, then they would charge your account, which was fine, But then again, it's not all the company's fault, because you have people out there that run scams, like run insurance scams. And so Asurion had no choice but to start charging a deductible. And this was a way to be a surefire way of making sure that, when you filed an insurance claim, that you were dead serious, that, you needed a replacement device, that you weren't trying to pull some shady business. But I also feel like that at the same time too, while they set a deductible for like, an iPhone 7 at $250 or a Galaxy S6 at $100, I honestly think too that there should be some sort of, something in position that we can help out with. I mean, we do have some things, and they come in the form of credits, and they come in the form of credits that are, split up over bill cycles. So you don't get the full credit amount. Like say like they told you they'll help you with $100 towards the device replacement, but you won't get the $100 credit like up front or right then and there. It'll apply on your bill between 2 to 3 bill cycles, and it's split up, like 50 now and 50 on the next bill. And it just, it's crazy. Just the level of things that an average person such as myself, like you don't have to be tech savvy to figure this stuff out. You can definitely just be like an average consumer and just be like, okay, my deductible is $250. I've been with you guys for a long time. How about some help with it? Something that you don't actually give directly to the customer. I'm sure that they can set up some sort of program that Sprint would hand over credits over to Asurion to help pay that deductible, and then help the customer, pay a portion of it. Like say like a long-term customer of 20 years who never really files an insurance claim, never really asks for credits, can get the highest amount of credit given. Say his deductible for his phone is $100, and Sprint said, okay, we'll cover 80% of it, and you pay 20% of it. Boom. Just something like that shows, appreciation for the time that was invested into the company. Because again, Sprint fell to 4th place for a reason. And then even after that, them trying to make a climb back up, which they're steadily doing. They're steadily getting back into the groove, but then they start making some real big mistakes over again, and that has to do with just them goal focused on getting new subscribers versus keeping the long-term ones. And if you think about it, like how much Sprint has to pay to get a new customer versus how much they have to pay just to keep a customer, the difference is night and day. You gotta think about it. Like the plan, the 5 lines for $100, the plan itself, you gotta understand that Sprint's taking the hit for that, right? That's why it's a promotional plan that has a limited time, is because this is not something that Sprint can do forever for that customer, for that one customer of 5 lines coming in, or that one customer of 3 lines coming in. They can't give you a plan that's going to be 5 lines for $100, unlimited, everything, including 10 gigabytes of mobile hotspot, and do that the entire time that you stay on Sprint. So they have a time limit on it. And that's hemorrhaging the company a lot of money. They're taking the hit because they're technically supporting 5 lines, so the customer's only paying for 2 lines technically, and then lines 3 to 5 is free. So they're pretty much supporting lines 3 to 5 on every family plan that has about 5 lines or more. And it's just a company taking a loss. Now, if they invested that into someone that has been with the company for 20 years and has no problems with Sprint's network and absolutely says that they love Sprint's network, just imagine, where's the better investment? The new customer, they'll get the 5 lines for $100. They'll probably stay with Sprint for a year, and then they'll leave after that promotional plan is done. Which then will probably force Sprint's hand to have to actually go and basically extend that promo for another 6 months or something. So that's like that's the sadness in all of it, you know. It's like if they were to invest that plan into long-term customers and the customers who've been with Sprint longer than 10 years, you know, maybe like do it in like a scale. Like if you've been with Sprint longer than 10 years, then you too can take advantage of the 5 lines for 100. And if you've been with Sprint for 20 years, then you can take advantage of the 5 lines for 90. You know, like they can scale it like that. They can show appreciation to their long-term customers, which they are losing. These are the customers that are leaving Sprint for T-Mobile or for Verizon. It's those customers, okay? We have a ton of customers that come in and they try to pull a fast one, so they're like, oh, Sprint's cheap, their phone is cheap, let me go to them, let me sign up with them. They sign up, and then they try to cancel within the 14-day satisfaction guarantee because they want the phone, so they can unlock the phone and take it to another provider, and it ends up not working right. And for those people out there who are doing that, learn this real quick. You can't do that. It's impossible. Don't even try it. And the reason why I say it's impossible is because even if you went into a Sprint store today and you say you bought the iPhone 10 for $1,000 cash, and you put $1,000 down, and they're like, they gave you a receipt, that phone is yours. Yes, it's yours. You bought it from Sprint, but you can't unlock it to go to another provider. Because the rules for unlocking a Sprint device is 1, it has to be paid off. There can't be no financial obligations attached to that phone. 2, the Sprint account has to be in good standing. You cannot have a past due balance. You have to be 0 balance to do this. And then 3, the phone has to have been active on Sprint's network for 50 days. Alright, so that's almost 2 months. You have to have the phone at least for 2 months before it's unlock eligible. No matter what. There's no override to unlocking a phone. The system is set up that way. So when you submit in for a device unlock request, it's going to look at how long that phone was actually active on Sprint. And if it's been less than 50 days, the system will not unlock it. How does these devices get unlocked? Well, it's pretty simple. From Sprint's end, a signal is sent from Sprint to the phone through a low band frequency. I think it's like a 9.1 hertz frequency. And that lets the phone to be known that it needs to be unlocked. Sure, you can find a lot of places like on eBay and stuff like that that will tell you they can unlock your device, and some of them are actually good at it. They're legit. You know, yeah, it costs like anywhere between $2 to $40 depending on your device model, but they can get your device unlocked. Yes, it's true. You can go that route if you want to. But calling into Sprint and asking Sprint to unlock a device, not going to happen. So don't even waste time trying to set up an account with Sprint to get phones for less than what other providers are charging, and then go and cancel within your 14-day satisfaction guarantee so it waives all the charges, but then think you're going to have the phone unlocked. Because no, part of the 14-day satisfaction guarantee is that you have to give the hardware back. You have to give the phone back. You know, I mean, it's give or take when it comes to business with Sprint. I know Sprint does a lot of dumb things. I'm sorry to say it like that, you know, because I like the brand. I think the brand's okay. I know it's not the best out there. I know it has its troubles. But I think with just the right people behind Sprint, Sprint can actually come back from the grave. It can come back from what it is. It can be better. You know, I use Boost Mobile. I love Boost Mobile. It's always worked for me, and Boost works on Sprint's network. So with that being said, Sprint's network has been reliable for me. And I really want them to succeed. I really want to see them do something better. You know, and one of the ways that I know that will help alleviate the problem of them having customer churn is that they need to be focused with their long-term customers. Honestly, I really think that the retention department should really deal with customers that's wanting to leave. But if it is a long-term customer, if it's a customer over 10 years, they should have another department specifically dedicated for those customers to give them things. To be very honest, there's, you know, customers feel today that they're entitled to a lot of things. I've dealt with customers who've only been with Sprint for 5 years and feel like that they, you know, have been there for a long time, that they deserve the whole world in their hand. You know, and then there's customers that I've talked to who've been with Sprint since 1998 and still feel like that they're undeserving of things that I am actually able to do for them. and become appreciative and shocked that I was able to not only lower the bill or get them this phone, whatever. So it just, it's a two-way street really, because a lot of, I will say this, some Sprint customers are, they have that entitled mentality. They really feel like that, we can just do exactly what they say. Like, I'll tell you guys a funny story in this. I had one customer, so I'm not gonna mention names or anything like that, but I had a customer who literally argued with me because the customer wanted to upgrade. Okay, they just recently upgraded earlier this year to an iPhone 7. The iPhone 8 came out, and from their mentality, they thought like, okay, I'm not leaving Sprint. I'm gonna stay with Sprint, but I want the iPhone 8, so I want to give back my iPhone 7. They can take it back and just let me have an iPhone 8. Right? And from a consumer standpoint, that kind of does make sense. That kind of does sound good, right? Like if you're really not going anywhere, you feel like that your provider should work with you on a deal to be like, hey, yeah, I'm not going to leave you guys. I love your service. I just want to have a new phone. So can I give you back this phone and you guys give me that phone and I'll keep paying my monthly payment type of attitude. And it doesn't work that way, because when you sign a lease, a 24-month lease or an 18-month lease, you committed yourself to that phone. You committed to paying that phone off. It's the same as like when you lease a car. You committed to make payments on that. If you finance the car, you're committed to making payments on that car until it's paid off. Same thing with the phone. Leasing, you're going to use it, you're going to pay monthly to use it, and you're going to give it back when you're done. Financing or installment billing, you're going to buy the phone, you just don't have the full amount, so you're going to make monthly payments until it's paid off. So with those are actual terms or contracts, okay? So a lot of customers will be like, I thought Sprint did away with contracts. I thought they don't do 2-year contracts anymore. You're absolutely right, they don't. They don't do 2-year contracts, but the contract is not over time. The olden days when they used to do 2-year contracts, that was you promising to stay with Sprint for 2 years, and Sprint sold you a phone at a subsidized price. So rather than you paying $700 for an iPhone, you paid $100 for the iPhone. Where did the other $600 go? Sprint took a hit because you promised to be with them for 2 years, so they sold you the phone at that price. So that was 2-year contracts. Every carrier has done away with that. Now the contracts are over these because these are becoming expensive. These can now cost you twice as much as what your car payment is a month. These can cost you what it would cost to, a monthly mortgage for a 5-bedroom house. All right, these are getting super expensive. So the contract is over these. It's over smartphones. It's no longer over time. And when you make a contract for 18 months to either use the phone until the 18 months or buy it, we can't just wash that away because you want something new. We just can't do that. So, but that's how customers sometimes feel. They feel entitled to it. They feel like they should be able to get it, no matter what. So that's that's the spill between consumer and business. But going back over to the root topic, things that could save Sprint, just in general. So I'm about to close out this live broadcast. They need to pay attention more to their loyal customers. Customers who have been with them longer than 10 years. It should be a tier amount. If you've been with them for 10 years, there should be these types of things that we can give them. If it's been 15, there's these types of things that we can give you. And if it's 20, there's anywhere in between that we can give you. Because that's really what Sprint customers feel today. They really feel like that's what it's all about, is, getting new customers, and who cares about the ones that have been there through thick and thin. And it's just like having a regular relationship, And it's just like, if a person in a relationship was always busy eyeing somebody else that could potentially be, a boyfriend or a girlfriend, when they already have, a boyfriend or girlfriend, their partner basically is going to feel unappreciated, they're going to walk. That's the exact same analogy on how, consumer and carrier relationship is in the mobile tech world. It's comparable to a real life couple's relationship. And when one starts to feel unappreciative, one then tends to walk and find someone else that will appreciate them. That's just how it is. So, anyways, for those people that popped in on the live broadcast, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate that. And yeah, basically, it's just more in that sense today where it's like, Sunday, it's my day off. I'm trying to relax, enjoy the day. But I kind of wanted to do this. And I will send a copy of this onto YouTube. So for the YouTube clan, you guys can peep that over there. I will also upload this to the Google Plus community and on VidMe, so you guys can catch it in multiple places from wherever you follow me from. That's where you guys can find it. If you guys missed it, that's okay. The replay on here is here for you guys. That's cool. If I have something else later on, I'll probably stream here on Instagram. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. And if I decide to stream later, if you want, hit me up on Twitter. Let me know if you want to do a duo stream with me here on Instagram. That'd be kind of cool. Because I do see it. I want to try it out. I do see it where you could choose somebody else to go live with. Let me see if it lets me search. I guess you got to be a viewer on the broadcast to be able to go in. So if you were actually like watching live, maybe I could have see if I could brought you into dual cast with me. So I'll try it out later on. But anyways, yep, that's pretty much it for right now. I'm just gonna chill and get some more work done. Yeah. So happy Sunday, everybody. Take it easy. Enjoy your weekend. I'm Tito, and I'm out.